You. What's up, everybody? Rich Kids 20 here, back with another Mr. B story. Mr. Ballen. We call him Mr. B. It's like Mr. J. You know. I don't have any other sentence after that connection, so I don't know why I said but it's like that. We got another Mr. B story today. I thought I'd do something light, and then I realized it was like 26 minutes. It wasn't like that light compared to maybe what I could have chosen, but light-ish. A little something light before bed. We have police prank criminal on camera and the thumbnail now. Both these titles could be misleading. This title and the thumbnail could be misleading. But it looked like the arrow was pointing to a cop. The cop could be the criminal. And they was pranking their own person. They knew it was him, but they were like pranking him, misdirection, and then bam, they cuff him. Who knows? Mr. B though. That's who the fuck knows. It's not up. It is not functional. It's not operational. I was like, I don't need to do that, but I forgot that it's gonna be like that. There we go. Hey. Okay. Mr. B knows. Let's find out together. This should be a fun, little, interesting story that hopefully will not be triggering at all. That's my hope. The last one did me dirty, man. So let's hope this one's just nice and easy. Maybe no stupid people. Besides maybe just like you thought you could get away with that, you crazy. Just a nice, hopefully nice, easy, relaxing ride. We'll see.
TV show Cops just happened.
Yeah, I'll go back to the beginning of the year and everything. Yeah, you should grab all that.
In 2009, the popular true crime TV show Cops just happened to be in South Florida filming when a truly diabolical crime was committed there. And so cops captured this crime on camera. But someone in their footage was hiding something. And when you know what that something was, it becomes very obvious when you watch. But before we get into today's story, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you've come to the right place, because that's all we do, and we upload once or twice every week. So if that's of interest to you, please ask the like button if you can borrow their car for the week, and then when they say yes, spend that week driving around picking up as much roadkill as possible and packing it into their trunk. Picking up as much roadkill as you possibly can and pack it into their back seat in their trunk, and then return the car. Also, please subscribe to our channel and turn on all notifications so you don't miss any of our weekly uploads. All right, let's get into today's story.
I do think it's kind of nice. Kind of humorous that he laughed at his own jokes. Just like me. I think my jokes are hilarious. So I laugh all the time. But I thought that was adorable. I thought he was gonna drive around and pick up prostitutes or something for the like button, but I guess roadkill works too. Yeah. I thought maybe the like button deserved a break, but then make the like button foot the bill. The like button's got to pay for. That's expensive. I just don't know how expensive that would be. Depends on how many prostitutes, honestly. The setup. Okay, this might be a little bit more dark and sinister than I thought it would be. There might be some. It sounds like there's some flips in here. It's gonna send my mind through a loop. I don't know if I'm
Michael
ready for
DiPolito grew up in a very rough neighborhood in South Philadelphia, where violence,
born and raised on the playground. Spent most of his days.
Drugs and prostitution were just normal parts of everyday life. At a young age, like his parents, Michael became an alcoholic. He also developed a very serious drug addiction that he paid for by selling drugs. Michael would eventually drop out of high school and not...
Okay, it's not the picture I thought I was going to see with that description. Dude looks swole as fuck. He also, the look in his eyes is psychotic. Like the whole face, the smile of those eyes just looks like he about to fuck someone up, but he about to enjoy it. Like... There's a crazy fucking look right there, but dude also looks like he came straight off the Jersey Shore, man. Like he's got the hair slicked, he's got the tan, shirt open with the chest, muscles. Dude looks like he just rolled out the Jersey Shore.
Long after that, he became homeless and was living out on the streets, sleeping in abandoned buildings at night to stay warm. In 1993, when Michael was still in South Philadelphia, he was arrested for the first time. He was charged with possession of an unknown drug as well as intent to distribute this unknown drug. Court records don't specify what drug this was.
Got it.
However, Michael just did not show.
I was like, what do you mean unknown? Like, identify it. Like, and then right later what it was. I was like, man, he's experimenting with some new shit we never seen before. I was like, what is going on here?
Show up for court, and so a warrant was put out for his arrest. Michael would somehow manage to evade police capture, and by 1997, he had fled South Philly altogether and landed in South Florida in a town called Boca Raton. Shortly after arriving there, Michael was arrested for a second time, this time for offering an undercover police officer $15 in exchange for sex. Michael would plead guilty to solicit.
Only $15? Shit, man. Apparently it wouldn't have been that expensive for the like button. Like, shit, that's cheap as fuck. Like, he was like, hey, yo, I'll give you $15 if you do something, or if like he was trying to pick someone up, and they were saying like, oh, like $15 an hour or something like that. Like, well, it sounds like he was soliciting, like the amount of money. Like, $15, dog. Like, maybe for some services, but you're going full blown sex. I don't think that $15. Unless Florida cheap as fuck, I don't think that $15.
Prostitution. However, he would just get released. A year after the prostitution arrest, Michael was sued by a former girlfriend named Karen Tan, who claimed he was the father of her son, and so he owed her child support. And Karen had a DNA test that backed up this claim. However, Michael, again, would just not show up for court, and before long, Karen just gave up and dropped the lawsuit. Michael was likely very relieved when this happened, because at the time, he was making almost no money through a temp agency. And so after this lawsuit gets dropped, Michael decides, I need to go out and make some real money. And somehow, on his quest to find a more lucrative opportunity, Michael was introduced to associates of the Bonanno family. And the Bonanno family is one of the infamous 5 families that dominates organized crime across the United States. They are literally...
I was going to say, does that not sound like an Italian mob family right there? Got a name like that? Come on now. That's mafia territory right there.
Literally the Italian mafia. And after the...
Yeah, pretty obvious.
Mafia met Michael, they took a liking to him, and they did offer him a more lucrative, albeit illegal, opportunity.
Well, of
they
course.
gave him a role inside one of their so-called boiler rooms. A boiler room is not literally a boiler room. Instead, it's a group of fraudsters that use high-pressure sales tactics to steal money from unsuspecting victims. Typically, the way it works is the fraudster will cold call someone, and they will tell them that they have this great get-rich-quick scheme, but you gotta give me your money right now if you want to be a part of it. And so when the victim says, okay, that sounds great, and they wire the money along, the fraudster just steals their money. Michael, who was very charismatic and a natural salesman, got really good at tricking people into giving him their money. And so eventually, Michael realized he could make a lot more money if he started his own boiler room.
No, Michael. Michael, no. Not like this. Not like this, my man. Yes, you could. But if you do anything that's gonna, I mean, I don't know why I'm trying to support a criminal kingpin here, or criminal kingpin in the making here, but like, you do anything that looks like you're turning your back on the mafia, man, you're a dead man. Like, you don't fuck with that, bro. You don't fuck with that.
Where his commission could be much higher on the money he stole. And so fairly abruptly, he left the mafia's boiler room. We don't really know how they reacted to this. And Michael would set up not 1, but 2 boiler room scams of his own in South Florida. And by 2002, he had pocketed $155,000 of stolen money. However, he had spent virtually all of it on fancy hotels and cars and phone sex. But the good times would not last for Michael, because in 2002, the...
Why phone sex, though? I've never understood that concept. Like, it's a step down from like a strip club. Because you don't even get to see anybody. You picture in your head what's happening on the other end of that line, which is probably 9.9 times out of 10. Not what's actually happening on the other line, and you just use your imagination. You can just use your I mean, it was 2009. You can use your imagination on the internet, dude. Porn's free. Like, the fuck's wrong with you, dog? You can actually see images and shit. Like, I've never understood that. Why would you spend a bunch of money on phone sex? You could just, I don't know, I'm sure he's just like, after trying to pay for sex and getting arrested by the police for it, he's like, I don't trust it. I'm sure you could find someone, some pimp or something, someone who's in the business and be like, nah, this girl legit, no cop. But I don't know. Fancy hotels, like, I guess I kind of get that, but like, it's a lot of money you just blowing.
Police caught on to Michael's boiler room scams, and they raided them, and Michael was arrested for a third time. Except this time he would go to court, he would stand trial, and he would be sentenced to 2 years in prison, 28 years of probation, and he would be ordered to pay back the $155,000 that he stole. Michael would only serve 7 months of his 2-year jail sentence, but that was more than enough to leave a huge impact on him. Michael hated prison. He hated every second of it. And so during those long sleepless nights that he was laying awake in his cell, he made a promise to himself that when he got out, when he was released, he would never, ever come back. And so in 2003, when he was released, he immediately entered a sobriety program. He also started going to the gym every morning, and he began studying for his GED, which is a high school equivalency test because he didn't get his high school diploma. After he successfully earned his GED a couple of months later, he would also start a legal business. It was a digital marketing firm that was called Mad Money Inc. Over the next several years, Michael would do his very best to stay on the straight and narrow and not get in trouble. And for the most part, he did that. By 2008, Michael was still sober, despite a few setbacks, and he was still very focused on his physical fitness and his health, and his business, Mad Money, was doing quite well, earning him nearly $100,000 a year. But his love life had become a bit messy. Michael had gotten married back in 2007 to his longtime girlfriend named Maria Luongo, who had stood by him when he went...
You can't just like you can't just soft pitch that name in like you didn't just say what you just said. I'm sorry, Maria Luongo. Is that what the fuck you just said to me? Hold on, give me that name again.
2007 to his longtime girlfriend named Maria Luongo, who had
Luongo. I continue.
Stood by him when he went to jail. But that year, in 2008, when Michael was 38 years old, he cheated on Maria with a 26-year-old real estate agent named Dalia Mohammed, who he met at a Starbucks.
Dude, this guy finds the most... I mean, obviously Mohammed's not like a unique name. Like, I think is one of the most common names on the planet. But like, just to find someone like that... I assume she's Middle Eastern. I don't know. But just go from Luongo to Muhammad is just like you're just finding all the very interesting named individuals around here.
And instead of their affair being a quick fling, as they likely both intended it to be, Michael and Dalia quickly fell in love. And when that happened, Michael went to his wife Maria and he told her, and then he divorced her. Just 3 days after the divorce finalized, Michael and Dalia went to the courthouse and they got married.
His last name is Dipolito. He's got to find something that can match his last name energy right there. Dog, nah. I mean, it's not like life's really going great for you in general, but like, first off, you don't go to your wife and say, hey, by the way, I'm having an affair. We're getting a divorce. You get the divorce first. Then you go with the affair. Then you tell her, oh, yeah, by the way, I was cheating on you. Or you just leave that part out. Or also just don't cheat in general, because that's kind of a really fucked up, horrible thing to do to another human being. But... yeah, because that could be used against you, man. You're gonna be giving all your shit away, dog. Like you don't reverse those two, if anything. But and someone who's willing to sleep with someone who's married, you probably just don't trust that in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like, that's already doomed to fail, in my opinion.
Newlyweds would move into a brand new condo that Michael had purchased for them in Boynton Beach, which is a beautiful town in South Florida. And for a time, their life was perfect. They knew it was a little outrageous the way they had met each other and how quickly they had fallen for each other, but they didn't care. They got along great and they were excited about the future. But their perfect life would not last long. On the evening of March 12th, 2009, so only about a month after they had gotten married, Michael and Dahlia were at home in their condo when they heard a knock on the front door. And so Michael went to the door, he opened it up, and much to his surprise, standing on the other side was his probation officer, and behind him was a whole bunch of police officers. And before Michael could even ask what was going on, the probation officer told Michael that they had received an anonymous call tipping them off that Michael was selling steroids and ecstasy pills and other drugs out of his condo.
Not sure if this is true or not, but like, I could take a guess that if it's not his ex-wife, it'd be definitely the mafia. But my guess is that would be the that'd be his wife right there. Yeah, you also like probably shouldn't piss her off either by divorcing her after cheating on her, because like she knows your history and she knows your secrets, dog. Like,
Michael would tell the probation officer that there was no way that was true. He is not selling any drugs. He's sober. He's not doing that. And so eventually Michael just stepped aside and said, please come in, search my condo. I have nothing to hide. And so sure enough, the police, they would go into his condo, they would search it, but they wouldn't find anything and they would leave. And so after the police had gone, Michael and Dahlia found themselves just standing in their condo, completely dumbfounded. But instead of trying to get to the bottom of it right then and there about who had called.
Dude. What do you mean dumbfounded, dude? You got enemies, dog. You kind of, you left the mafia, kind of fucked them over a little bit. Just kind of like, hey, I'm going to take your idea and do it myself. I don't need the mafia. You pissed off your ex-wife. Like, you probably got way more enemies that hasn't been listed so far. Like, there ain't no surprise in here, man. The surprise would be, which one did it, though? You know, that would be the guessing game. Not like, how could this have happened? Like, nah, dog, you got some skeletons, and they coming to try to fucking kill you. Well, as you know right now.
And why? They just decided it was best for them to just leave their condo for the night and go stay at a nice hotel. And so they packed up some bags, they left their condo, which was a total mess from the police search, and they went to the hotel and they had a nice night together. The next morning, when they got up and headed down to the parking lot, they saw up ahead, standing around Michael's car, was Michael's probation officer as well as several other police officers. And so Michael and Dahlia are looking at each other like, what is this, again? And so they hustle on over to Michael's car, and before they can even plead their innocence to Michael's probation officer, he stops Michael and just says, look, we got another anonymous call, this time telling us that you are selling drugs out of your vehicle, and so we need to search it. And so Michael is just totally beside himself, but he says, look, go ahead, search it. There's nothing in the car. And so sure enough,
you know, that's the one thing that I don't really understand about police searches. And I think is I mean, I don't like the popo in general. I feel like they abuse their power way too much. But I mean, that's what happens when you give a human being power. It's gonna happen. But like with searches and stuff, I've never been searched personally. I mean, that's because you wouldn't find anything. I don't carry anything on me. I don't do drugs. I don't even drink alcohol. If they're not for willing to take, like, you know, pain medicine or allergy medicine or, you know, pills in general, not for the wrong reasons, but just like, you know, if you have a headache or I have horrible allergies, so I take allergy medication and whatnot. If it wasn't for that, I'm like pretty much as straight edge as you can get. But so what I don't understand about police searches is like they'll tear your shit apart. They'll throw stuff out, they'll throw it all away, and instead of being like, okay, well, we were wrong, so we'll put it all back now. It's just like, okay, well, you got this, right? And they just fucking take off. It's just like, you guys are fucking pieces of shit, man. Like, you're going to throw my stuff everywhere, just tear it all up and be like, well, hey, we searched. We had probable cause to search. So, like, this is your problem now. Peace. Like, honestly, cops can suck my nuts. But, you know, just kind of like, I would just, if I was going to be like, okay, but like, you know, okay, I'll take one at the house and whatnot, but like, can you put the stuff back in my car, please? Like, it's kind of just rude. Just throw it away everywhere. Like, I gotta be the one to clean up. I still gotta go clean up the fucking house. Thanks, by the way. So like, if you could just like at least put it the fuck back in when you're wrong, that'd be great. But chances are there might be something planted in said vehicle. I have a feeling here. I'm calling it now.
Would open up his car, they'd rip it apart, but again, they wouldn't find anything.
Nothing planted. But they ripped it apart, now they put it back together.
Over the next couple of weeks, the only thing Michael and Dahlia ever wanted to talk about was what the heck was going on. Who is placing these anonymous calls?
I mean, I don't understand. Like, is sure dude's not on something? Because it's like, I don't understand. It's not like I've wronged people in my past. Who could be doing this to me? That's crazy. It's not like I just divorced my ex and immediately married the person I was fucking around with on her. Like, who could it be? I mean, it probably isn't even her. There's a chance it's not her, but like, just the thought of him just being like, I can't think of who would do this, man. It's just like, really? I could. I thought of two, like, within seconds of hearing this information. Like, I don't know where your brain at. Like, maybe a little melted from too many drugs or something. I don't know. But, like, bro, I can give you a couple.
Claiming that Michael was selling drugs out of the condo and out of the car. It just didn't add up. They wanted to believe that this was all just one big mistake, but in the back of both of their minds, they were thinking about Michael's very checkered past and his previous dealings with the mafia and with people he had clearly ripped off. And so,
yeah, it took you a little bit to get there. Just like, oh man, I can't help but think maybe. Do you think they're mad? I don't know, man. Maybe just like. Not possible. Not physically possible. That's crazy. You're thinking crazy, man. You're thinking crazy.
Maybe there was someone in his past that was looking to get back at Michael and maybe get him arrested and sent back to jail. Fast forward to March 29th, so 17 days after that first raid on their condo. And that night, Michael and Dahlia had been eating dinner at a restaurant. And when they left and headed out to the parking lot, once again, standing around Michael's car were several police officers clearly waiting for him to return. And so without even needing to ask why they were there, Michael and Dahlia, they go over to them and they just start pleading with them to understand that this is a setup. We do not have drugs in this car. We don't know what's going on here. Please, you got to understand that someone's doing this to us. But this time, when they searched his car, they would find something.
Told you there was going to be a plant eventually. I just, after twice, like, obviously, like, you're just trying to catch them slipping if they were actually doing it. Because, I mean, of course, if you're like a professional criminal, like, if you ain't just your average, like, I just want to sell drugs for a quick buck and I don't really know what I'm doing. Like, yeah, it'd be pretty easy to get caught, but like if you're profesh, like you ain't gonna have your stuff readily searchable and literally findable. You're gonna have that shit stashed somewhere where the cops ain't gonna find it. So it makes sense that they're just trying to, like, okay, we're just gonna keep trying to catch you slipping and what have you. But yeah, now they actually got planted. They get planted something. I was pointing at I mean, yeah, dirty cops, man. They might plant shit on you. They just don't like you. I don't know. Maybe he accidentally swindled a cop. How would a cop fall for that? If a cop fell for that, I don't say that's a cop's fault. If I'm gonna be completely honest with you, if a cop's just pissed, had someone swindle them out of money, like, you don't really blame yourself, man. Like, you deal with con artists and swindlers all the time. How did you get caught? Dog, come on. So I don't think that's it, but like, who knows? Who knows? It could be the cops, could be the mob, could be his ex. You never fucking know, man. Oh. advertisement.
Before we go any further, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, Experian. Back when I was just a young... Again, that's EX...
So, I know you're just trying to do you. You got sponsors and stuff, which is like good on you, bro. And all that good stuff. Like, appreciate the people helping out someone who's a great storyteller and makes great content and whatnot. It's just like, I know I'm not interested in whatever you're selling. So I'm just gonna let you know right now, before we waste both of our time. I'm not looking to buy what you're selling. So I'm skipping. I'm moving along here. We don't need to see this.
Experian.com/Mr. Ballen. Okay, back to the story. After searching Michael's car, the police would find a small bag of cocaine stuck inside of a cigarette carton tucked underneath his spare tire in the trunk. And when Michael saw them pull the cocaine out, he began to cry because he knew, even though it was not his and he had not put it there, that he was going to jail because he was going to get arrested for possession and he was on probation and he was screwed. And so he just begins crying and pleading with police to understand that the cocaine was not his. He swears it's not his. Meanwhile, Dahlia, she's looking at the drugs and now she's second guessing herself. Is Michael lying? Is he actually selling drugs? And he's been lying to me too? But when she sees her husband crying hysterically and looking so sincere, she believes that he's got to be telling the truth. And so pretty soon she was standing beside Michael and pleading with police as well to let them go, that this was totally just a setup. And amazingly, these police officers who were aware of the previous raids on Michael and Dahlia's property, they told them, look, we do think this is pretty suspicious that somebody keeps calling in about...
Yeah, no, like 3 times in just like a few weeks, just like, hey, check this guy. No, keep checking this guy. Keep checking this guy. Sure, that doesn't happen all the time. Especially after the second call and you don't find anything. That's a weird position to be in. Because, like, this is suspicious. like, if you would be hiding stuff like this, you would probably would have been doing it the whole time. Whoever this is, cocaine. Like, what do you do in that moment? You know what I mean? It's like, this is cocaine. We probably have to take you in for questioning and whatnot, and we gotta probably follow procedure. But like, okay, we'll give you the benefit of the doubt. This is suspicious.
You selling drugs, and now magically the drugs are in your car. And so what we're going to do is we're going to confiscate this cocaine. We're not going to arrest you. Instead, go home, be safe, call us if you see anything strange, you hear anything strange, and we're going to...
I mean, shit, dude. Like, I don't really care for police, but that was like, first off, that's suspicious. I don't know many police that's just gonna be like, yeah, no, probably cocaine probably wasn't you. You don't go home. I don't know many police officers that gonna do that. So like, that's suspicious. Already suspicious, but kind of pretty cool of the popo right there. I ain't gonna even lie, but I'm watching you. Because something's going down. The police are in on this somehow.
To begin investigating to figure out who is making all of these calls. And so Michael and Dahlia were totally relieved to hear this, but at the same time, they were kind of terrified because clearly whoever was looking to get Michael in trouble now was prepared to break into his property in order to do it. And so what was stopping them from breaking into their condo and planting drugs in there as well? And so after these police officers left, Michael and Dahlia hopped in the car, they sped back to their condo, and they went inside.
Oh, true crime daily. That's great. That's not okay. Someone could be dead. This is a very weird take on the story because technically, like, I mean, he's like a reformed criminal. Like, he's trying to turn his life around. So you want to give him the hero redemption story. And you want to kind of rooting for him in a little sense, but like, I'm constantly reminding myself, like, this dude sold drugs and swindled hundreds of thousands of dollars from innocent human beings. So I'm like, not really rooting for the guy, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really find myself like invested in like making sure, I hope he's okay at the end of this, you know what I'm saying? Because like yeah, everyone deserves second chances, but like, I mean, also cheated on his wife and then immediately married the person he cheated on his wife with. Like, sure, everyone deserves second chances, but was due on chance number 5, number 6. Like, I'm feeling, feeling pretty like I don't really give a fuck what happens to this guy. Really, kind of a criminal. So someone trying to plant like, hey, look, he really is a criminal. Look at this stuff. It's like it's hard to. It's not like this person like did everything right, straight A student, followed every letter of the law from the moment they were born to the moment of this story. And it's just like, oh, someone's setting him up. That's really fucked up. They've never done anything wrong. Like, no, this guy's kind of scumbaggy. Like, he's kind of fucked up a lot and fucked over a lot of innocent people and broken hearts and just done tons of horrible shit. So, like, whatever happens to him, I don't really give a fuck. But, like... But like what I told you from the get-go, dog, is you don't, when you're working with the mafia, you're lucky to get out, period. You don't fuck around when you're in the mafia, because they don't let that shit go. So yeah, I don't know if the mafia is just a red herring in there to make me think like, oh, it's clearly the mafia. Because there are still a few options available to choose from, but just like the mafia would be the people who have access to drugs easily, would know how to break into anything and anywhere, easy, check, and would know how the system works, how to get them cops in there. So like, and has the manpower and the ability to watch you, to stalk you, to spy on you, to know your every fucking move, man. Don't piss off and fuck with the mafia, bro. Like, you kind of did this to yourself. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. If it isn't the mafia and it's your ex-wife, you kind of did that to yourself. If it's not your ex-wife and it's potentially these people you swindled hundreds of thousands of dollars out of, you kind of did it to yourself. Like, this is there is no innocent person being destroyed here. This is just like, yeah, you chose all these steps to fuck yourself over. But if it's like none of the above and the cops just kind of have a problem with this person and they're just fucking with them, then maybe I'll feel a little bit bad. It just says police prank criminal on camera. So maybe it is the police that are fucking with him. So maybe the story turns around a little bit. Maybe I start feeling a little sorry for him. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Because he is a criminal, a past criminal, and the police have been fucking with him. Like, again, as I said, I don't know many police officers that like, yeah, cocaine, you can go home. Someone's clearly... No, they would arrest him on spot. At least to bring him in for questioning and shit. Like, you don't just let him go when you find cocaine. Even if it's suspicious, you don't just let someone go. It's not like, oh, there's some weed or whatever. It's technically illegal in this state, but like, someone probably setting you up. Go home. No, like, this is cocaine. This is the heavy shit. So yeah, Like, I think feeling police here. I feel like the mafia is too obvious. It's a red herring.
They searched it top to bottom, looking for any sign that anyone had recently been in there, or if there were drugs or anything illegal inside of their condo. And after looking and finding nothing, they just locked their doors, shut their windows, shut the blind.
I mean, I would hope you lock the door while you're searching. But, okay.
And just prayed that the police would be able to quickly identify who was doing this to them and make them stop. But over the next few months, the police would not figure out who this anonymous caller was because the caller stopped calling. And so for a little while, Michael and Dahlia were convinced that the whole ordeal was over and done with, and they basically returned to their normal lives. But on August 5th, 2009, roughly 4 months after the cocaine was found in Michael's car, the anonymous caller would come back with a vengeance. On that morning at around 5:45 a.m., Dahlia left the condo, leaving Michael in bed, and she headed out to the local gym to get a workout in. Around 6:30 in the morning, she stepped off the
Imagine if
treadmill
it's
and she
her.
looked at her phone and she saw she had a missed call from a number she didn't recognize, and this number had left her a voicemail. And so she calls her voicemail, she puts it to her ear, and as she's listening, her heart starts to race because it was a Boynton Beach detective telling her there had been some sort of incident at her condo and she needed to come back right away. Terrified, Dahlia grabbed her things and she ran out of the gym, she got in her car, and she called this number back. And when the detective picked up, she tried to get more information from him about what this incident was, what happened. And the detective would only say that it involved her husband, and he would explain everything when she came back. And so in a total state of shock, Dahlia turned on her car and she sped out of the parking lot and she headed back towards her condo. And when she turned onto her street and saw her condo, she hit the brakes and just stared. In front of her condo were all these police cars with their lights on, and police officers were walking around, and yellow crime scene tape was lining the outside of her property. And inside of the taped off area, there were all these crime scene photographers taking pictures of her condo. And so as Dahlia is sitting in her car at the top of the street, just staring at this crazy scene she's seeing, one of the Boynton Beach police officers sees her and walks up, and after confirming that she was Dahlia DiPolito, he said to her, leave your car here and come with me. And so Dahlia, who knows obviously something bad has happened but really doesn't know the extent of it, she puts her car in park, she gets out, and she begins walking with this police officer over towards this cluster of 3 people that are standing right in front of her property. And it would turn out one of them was the detective who had called her on the phone. And so Dahlia's led over, and that detective, as soon as he sees Dahlia, he walks over to her and he says to her very matter-of-factly that someone had called about a disturbance in their condo, and shots were fired, and unfortunately her husband, Michael, was dead. Dahlia, who was totally hysterical, was gently led away from her condo.
So this is the picture, and the arrow is pointing at this guy. The arrow is pointing at this guy right here. It's the thumbnail. Dude looks a little Italian. You know what? Maybe this mafia thing maybe ain't too far off,
Into a nearby police car, and they would drive her to the police station where they would sit her down and begin asking her questions about her husband. And they would say to her, look, I know you just found this out, but we gotta figure out what could have happened because a killer is on the loose. We need to find this person and stop them. And so at first, the conversation was really just Dahlia crying and the detective kind of calming her down. But eventually, she would tell the detective about the anonymous caller who kept calling the police and claiming Michael was selling drugs, and how she and Mike...
Possibility it's her. Because, a lot of these stories, I'm kind of learning that you can't trust anybody. Like, if you dating someone, don't trust them. They might try to kill you. If you have kids, don't trust them. They might try to kill you. That's what I've been learning from these stories. So, maybe she was the one putting in anonymous calls. Maybe she's the one who shots fired. Maybe he cheated on her. And she was like, nah, fuck that shit. Pop, pop, pop. And then it was like, oh, alibi. I was out working out. I had no way it could have been me.
Michael suspected that, probably the anonymous caller was connected to someone from his past, maybe someone from the mafia, or maybe one of the victims of his boiler room scam, or it could be any number of other people that Michael had done wrong in the past. And so
I like how they haven't mentioned the ex-wife yet. She hasn't come up as a suspect in any of these theories. Come on, dog.
the detective, he's taking diligent notes and he's listening to Dahlia. And then at some point in a break in the conversation, he says to Dahlia, okay, it's time to get serious. I need to know if you know this guy. And so Dahlia, she was kind of looking down and she looks up, confused what he's talking about. And then the door opens and this huge guy in handcuffs walks into the room.
Come here.
Come on.
Get over here. Get over here. You know who this guy is?
No,
You've never seen him before.
I've never seen him before. Ever.
Do you know her?
Put your head up and look at her.
Put your head up.
I've never seen him.
What were you doing coming out of her house? Get him out of here.
It would turn out Dahlia was lying. She did know who that guy was.
I'm starting to catch on to these stories. I'm starting to get the hang of it after enough watches and listens here. I'm starting to figure this out. Starting to get this puzzle piece together. You see true crime, someone probably died. And when it's that situation, like now I'm starting to see the patterns in these stories. Again, you can't trust anybody, man.
Almost immediately after marrying Michael 6 months earlier, she had stolen $200,000 from him, but apparently that wasn't enough for her. She needed the rest of Michael's money as well as his condo. And so she had been the anonymous caller. She was the one.
If I had a fedora. You're welcome. I know. Please, hold your applause. Please. I know, hold your applause. I am that good. You're right. I know. And handsome? You should. Guys, you shouldn't. You're so kind. Yeah. Nah, I told you. You can't trust anybody, man, even if you're dating them. Someone who's willing to sleep with you, knowing full well that you're married, and it's like, you have how much money? I've fallen madly in love with you. Let's get married. Doesn't matter what sex or gender or anything that they are. You don't trust that. You never trust that. You don't turn your back on that. You don't. You don't. You don't. You don't trust that.
On calling the police and tipping them off that Michael was selling drugs out of the condo and out of his car. She was the one who planted the cocaine in the back of his car because she wanted him to get arrested because he was on probation and he would go back to jail for a really long time. But when her efforts failed and Michael did not get arrested,
well, then you no other choice but to put him down. Pop, 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 pop. Yeah. But she won't do it. She ain't getting her hands dirty. She's going to have probably her other lover come in and fuck him up. Sack of shit.
though did not go back to jail, Dahlia moved on to Plan B. She reached out to one of her ex-boyfriends and she asked him, "Hey, do you know any hitmen that could murder my husband?" And the ex-boyfriend at first didn't think she was serious, but when she kept asking him about it and began offering to pay and really was making it clear that she wasn't joking around, the ex-boyfriend basically told her, "No, I don't know any hitmen." And then he, the ex-boyfriend, called the Boynton Beach Police Department.
Hey, good man. Hey, good looking, bro. You tried. You did the best you could. All right, you did the best you could, man. Hey, way to be like, okay, guys, this bitch crazy. This bitch really crazy. She's serious. Like, this is why we ex. She's serious. Like, that's fucked, man. Is he actually dead? I don't know if her husband's, because I'm looking at the word prank. And she tried to get a hit out on him and was stealing money from him. So technically it's criminal-like activity. And if it's a prank, they might be fucking with her. He might not actually be dead. And they're flipping it on her to try to see if she'll lie to the police and stuff, get her arrested and shit. God, that'd be a crazy twist. Oh, man, that would be an insane twist right there. Can he call it twice in one video? The legend here? Let's see what happens.
And told them about Dahlia and her plan to hire a hitman to kill Michael.
She crazy.
So when the Boynton Beach Police Department found out about this plot, they immediately had one of their undercover agents pose as a hitman and set up a meeting with Dahlia. And so the undercover agent was that huge guy in handcuffs that was led into the room with Dahlia. And so Dahlia goes to meet the undercover agent, the fake hitman.
Dude, man. Your boy about to turn into a legend right here. Let's go.
She gets into his car.
But this is psycho level energy. We'll talk all about this later. But like this is a little triggering. I'm not gonna lie. I thought I would have a nice like, haha, we pranked someone. fucking video up in here. I thinking I'll stay maybe away from the trigger and true crime, but no, I found it. I found it in the end.
And there's a hidden camera in the back seat that's filming her the whole time, and she's caught on camera saying she wants to kill her husband.
You didn't, not necessarily 4K because that was pretty bad quality. You know, this was back in there, the 2K or mid 2Ks, almost 210s. What are you gonna do? But like, yo, you got straight up caught in like what 720, maybe 7 now, like 4. Not necessarily 4K, but you got caught, girl.
Gives money to the undercover agent, and then as she's about to get out, the agent turns to her and he says, "Are you sure you want to do this? Because as soon as you leave, it's done. I am going to kill Michael and you can't stop it."
Yeah, that's straight up like prostitution sting levels right there. It's just like, okay, so you're giving me $150 for sex, right? Like that is like, it's almost like grabbing the mic, like, are you sure you want to do this, right? You guys are picking this up, right? That's, I mean, I said at the beginning there might be someone who's like, who's an idiot. You thought you were going to get away with that. You can't trust hitmen. They'll turn you in, first off. But it's like an undercover hitman. That's crazy.
This is Dahlia's reaction.
There is no changing, no, there is no, like, I'm determined already. I'm positive, like, 5,000% sure.
God damn it. Okay.
But no, when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. Like, as soon as you told me, listen, I need the money from you, I went, I grabbed it right away, like, we were good to go. Like, with me, you're not going to have a problem, you're not...
She just doesn't stop talking. I mean, I don't know how Mike put up with the talking at the first. I'm not sure how he didn't put out a hit on her. Just kidding. I was making light of a seriously fucked up situation. But she just keeps going off like, nope, yeah, no, I'm sure. Like, he just keeps explaining it. And he was pretty much already to be like, all right, no, I got it. No, okay, no, I got it though. Like, yep, I get it.
Not going to have an issue.
And so the Boynton Beach Police Department, they have all this information about what Dahlia thinks is going to happen, and they decide they can use this information to set her up in the most elaborate way possible. And it just so happened the very popular true crime TV show, Cops, was filming in the area. And
it's great. This would be something Cops would do. It's fantastic.
so the Boynton Beach Police Department allowed Cops to be a part of this elaborate setup. So they got to film everything that happened. So on the morning of August
Yo, bad girls, what you gonna do when they come for you?
5th, Dahlia got up and left her condo at 5:45 a.m. and headed to the gym, knowing, at least in her mind, that the hitman would be coming to her condo right after her, breaking in and shooting her husband twice in the head, because that was the plan they had come
Yeah, double tap just to make sure he doesn't survive. Yeah, that's logical.
up with that was captured on film. And so after the police see her leave at 5:45 a.m., because they were monitoring
Yeah, of course they were watching.
condo, they rushed in, they knocked on the door, and they got Michael to come downstairs. And he had no idea his wife was trying to kill him.
Oh, of course not. No, why would... Yeah, no. No, this dude's pretty oblivious to most things. Can you imagine that? Like, you open the door, right, and you see all these officers be like, dude, again? Like, there's no fucking way. And be like, no. It gets crazier, dude. You're going to want to sit down for this one. So, we have video footage. You're going to want to watch this. You're going to love this shit. Your wife wants you dead. She, actually, if we didn't get this information first, by the way, you should go thank her ex-boyfriend. Like, buy him something nice. Like a house or a car or something. Because he just saved your life. You gotta see this shit. Just fuck, man. Can you imagine getting that, like, you're married to someone and you love them and whatnot, and then, like, you come down the coast like, hey, by the way, your wife planned on killing you this moment. Like, this would have been someone who's about to shoot you in the face. Surprise! You know, how do you... I'm actually surprised that my ex-wife didn't try to kill me. Because she's not crazy, but she's not, like, not crazy. And our marriage started going a little south because, again, she's crazy. It has issues. So, like, surprised she didn't try to kill me in my sleep. I think I got lucky. I think I dodged more bullets in more ways than I originally thought. Now, watching these videos, I'm surprised she didn't try to kill me. Whatever.
So he comes to the door, he's totally confused, but he goes with them and he's kind of ushered off to the police station. And then for about the next hour, the police set up a very convincing fake crime scene right out front of the condo. And then once it was all set up, that detective called Dahlia and left her a voicemail saying that, there's been this incident, you need to come back to your condo. And then a couple of minutes later, when Dahlia called them back and said, okay.
I'm just playing this all back, dog. He did mention that it would be pretty easy to see once you know what happened. And it's just like, yeah, of course she tried to marry him right away, knowing how much money he was making. And, all this, you can clearly see the steps playing out here. But the fact is that this bitch was so fucking committed that she cried her ass off when she came in, pretending. Bitch cried crocodile tears for minutes, pretending that she was sad that her husband was dead. There's so many thoughts that are going through my head, but I'm censoring them like fucking mad. I'm screening them like a professional phone call screener right now. Let's just say, ladies, I'm not very happy with your behaviors in this world. Obviously, this is extreme. But, when a man kills his family and shit, you can see the brokenness in his face. It's real. They usually, not that this is excusable for killing your whole family or anything because they actually feel something. But, you can see, their shell of the person they used to be. This girl pretends to cry the fact that she thinks that she got her husband murdered, knowing full well, I get the fucking house and the money now, oh, I'm sad. That's devil level evil, dude. That's beyond fucking evil. There is no souls in the female body. They do not have souls. I don't believe it. It's a myth like the female orgasm. Only kind of playing around, though. Anyways, let's let this story continue out here, shall we?
I'm coming back to the condo now. That's when the TV crews for the Cops TV show, they kind of set up in the bushes and got ready to film what happened next.
Listen, we had a report of a disturbance at your house, and there were shots fired. Is your husband Michael? Okay, I'm sorry to tell you, ma'am, he's been killed. He's been killed, man. I'm sorry.
Can you imagine being that police officer? Can you imagine being that police officer? Look at this guy. You could see it in his face. He's not amused. They all know she's lying. Every single one of them knows she's lying. Just look at are you fucking kidding me? This guy in the back just... Are you fucking kidding me? Can you imagine being that police officer and have to keep it together and not want to slap that bitch upside the head and be like, are you fucking serious? You hoe. Oh my god. And I thought I wasn't going to get a triggering video today. Oh my god.
Listen,
No.
try to calm down.
No.
Listen, right now we need to get you to the station.
No.
We need to get you to our police station. I can't let you in, man. We have to do our...
I don't believe that part was an act. I think she wanted to clarify he was dead and see the body. Are you fucking kidding me?
job.
After the fake hitman was pulled out of the interrogation room after Dahlia had said, "Oh, I don't know who he is," the detective just stared at her in total silence for a minute.
I would, dude. I don't know who that man is. I just be like, ma'am, I'm gonna give you one more chance to save your soul. Okay. Your soul that you've proven you've already sold many years ago. I'm gonna give you one more chance of redemption. Like, I don't even need to say anything, do I? I'm just gonna look at your bitch ass. Like, come on. Like, are you for fucking reals? Like, there's it's like, how do you respond to that? It's just the disappointment that must be going through the cop. Just like, get the fuck out of here. Arrest this bitch.
And then he broke the news that he totally knew all about her murder plot and that she was going to jail.
I want to see this. I want to see this footage. Let's go. Just the turn on this hoe.
You're going to jail today for solicitation of murder. You're under arrest.
Just that silence. He just looks at it. He's like, okay. Well, you're under arrest. I mean, unfortunately, she's not really handcuffed. I'm pretty sure there's officers ready to go and whatnot. I'm sure he's got a gun. Like, it's pretty bold to make things like, well, she didn't try to do it herself, so it doesn't seem like she's like a cold-blooded killer who's just gonna like jump across the table and try to kill him. Or pull out a gun of her own or anything, because I'm pretty sure she's searched when she goes in there, but I wouldn't fucking know. Yeah. She's like not really responding to this yet. She's just kind of looking at it, probably just shocked, just like, wait, what's this turn of event? What do you mean I'm caught? And then it's like, that's undercover police officer, man. Like, I know you've seen him. I have footage of you seeing him.
You're going to jail today for solicitation of murder. You're under arrest. That's an undercover police officer. Everything has been recorded. You were photographed in the convertible when you sat in his car in the front of CVS. What do you want to do?
What do you want? Oh my god. Yeah. You dumb, ain't you? You pretty fucking dumb, huh?
What do you want to do here?
I didn't do
Dahlia?
anything.
Listen to me.
Oh, sure, you didn't do anything personally. But at least physically, but oh, you did something. Don't lie, girl. Don't be like, I'm just gonna, maybe he's bluffing. Maybe he's bluffing. You know what? Throw out the fishing line. Maybe he's bluffing. Like, oh, he doesn't know it's me. There's no way he can know it's me. This is all a bluff. I know how cops work. Nah, girl, you come clean at that moment,
I
man.
didn't do anything.
You're going
I
to
didn't do
jail.
anything, please. I didn't do anything.
Tell me you didn't do anything.
Yeah, don't fucking tell me. Try to kill your fucking husband.
I didn't do anything.
You're going to jail today. As soon as I'm done, they're going to come in here and handcuff you and take you to the Palm Beach County Jail, book you for solicitation of first-degree murder on your husband. Your husband is well and alive.
Thank God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, fan fucking tastic, bitch. Yeah. Oh, thank God. There's no way this bitch is this far gone that she thinks that I can be like, oh, I'm relieved my husband's alive. Yes, this is always a joke, and that you're gonna get off with that. Like that you're gonna be like, they're gonna be like, oh no, she clearly cares about him. Like, no, we got our information wrong. That video wasn't you. This is something else, man. This is unbelievable.
Thank God.
Please, can I see him?
No, he doesn't want to see you.
I so wanted to see him.
He doesn't want to see you.
Yeah, I want to see you. Just like, nah, cuff that bitch. Make sure she never gets out. Never gets out.
After Dahlia was arrested, she was still sitting in that interrogation room when the Boynton Beach Police Department made a special point of walking Dahlia's husband, Michael, past the open door so she could see him. Here's her reaction.
Oh my God.
He's alive.
Come here, please. Come here. Mike, come here. Come here, please.
Here's what I would do. I wouldn't even say a single word. I wouldn't even say, one single sentence to this woman, here's what I would do. Here's a reenactment. I was walking past the door. Here's what I would do. Walk past. Door over here. And just keep walking. Just give her the old. And just keep going. That's all I do. Not a single word. The last things you would ever see from me is a big old finger be like, fuck you. Go fuck yourself. No words needed. Just walk off. Ghost that bitch.
Why not? I didn't do anything to you. Mike, come here, please. Come here.
Her pain and suffering is delightful to the ears. Oh yeah, she's cuffed. She cuffed now.
Dahlia was initially sentenced to 20 years in prison for what she had done,
Yes.
but after a retrial because of jury bias, her sentence was reduced to 16 years.
I mean, I thought they were going to say 10. 16's pretty good. 16 pretty good. That's pretty decent. Jury bias. Why don't we just hang that bitch now? That'd probably be me. There's some bias in the jury. One of them is trying to get the death penalty. We don't even have that here. I don't know. Does Florida have? I mean, Florida doesn't seem to have many rules. So I don't know. It's kind of like the New Jersey area. Kind of, you know, just there's no rules. You make them up as you go along. Crazy ass.
So that's going to do it. If you got something out of today's episode and you haven't done this already,
I can see. There we go. I don't know. Man, I don't know what to tell y'all. Like, let's put it this way. Men will do some horrible shit. There is some cases of some horrific male shit. Like, great one, Christopher Watts. Dude fucking killed his fucking 2, 3. I think one was 3. One was 1. Was 1, 3? I don't remember the years. It's been a while. Suffocated and killed his little kids after killing his wife. Horrible shit, right? Like, absolutely terrifying, terrible shit. I'm not trying to say in any way, shape, or form that men aren't capable of crazy, horrific shit. But the pure evil that I see when women go this distance, like the girl who killed her husband. No, not her husband. Oh, that's this one. The girl who killed her father, who did nothing but be a loving, supporting, amazing father to her. Just so she could run away with a guy. And then laughed and giggled about it like it wasn't shit. The girl who tries to kill her husband pretends to cry about it. And then says they did nothing wrong. Like, I was recently talking to someone. Like, don't get me wrong, there are some wonderful women out there. My best friend in the entire world is female, and she is a wonderful human being, one of the greatest human beings I've ever met in my entire life, besides potentially Lindsay Sterling. But who knows? Maybe Lindsay Sterling's got skeletons in the closet we don't know about. I don't know. So I'm not trying to say make it sound like I hate women or anything, because I don't. Almost all my friends are women, but like, let's not pretend like they all angels or anything just because they're women. Okay, well, I'm just putting that out there. Let's not pretend like they all angels. Like, like that's definitely monstrous behavior. The things I've listed that men have done. Women is like on another level of feel nothing, no soul, no nothing. Just cold-blooded, I don't care, I'm getting paid. Like, it's... Like, I literally was having a conversation with a young lady the other day, and I don't know. Sounds like she was being pretty serious, to where she described that she wanted to just marry a rich man. Love can come later. She just wants money, and she wants to divorce him so she can get half his shit. Those are the words she said to me. I'm standing there just like, excuse me? And this is a nice person I know. Granted, she's been kind of fucked over in her life and has gone through some traumatic ass shit. So, like, this isn't, like, unexpected. But she's a sweet, hardworking person. And those are the words she said to me, followed by, I want to have kids, but I just want to raise them on my own. So I was like, let me get this straight. You want to meet someone, you want them to impregnate you, and then when you have the kids, you're just gonna be like, okay, I got this on my own. Get out of my life and just raise them by yourself. She's like, yeah. I was like, that's next level, like getting pregnant, knowing it's not their baby, telling them that's their baby, making them raise it, and then later in their life being like, oh, by the way, it's not your baby, taking the baby and running out of, or taking the child now and removing it from their life. That is next level, demon level, evil shit that men just don't do. Yeah, they might be like, I just don't want this baby and we'll bounce. Like that, yeah, piece of shit move, horrible but stuff, but that's not like devious, evil, menacingly conniving, crazy shit. So, like, I don't know. I love women. Well, I love certain women. Let's put it that way. I love certain women in my life, the ones that have proven that they're absolutely wonderful, lovely human beings. But, like, ladies, you got some stuff you need to work on that I feel like just doesn't get addressed in society, and we're just like, it's okay, women can do what they want. Seems to be the general tone that comes out, and why this kind of shit goes down is because I think women just believe I can do what I want because I'm a woman. I can keep this person up, my boyfriend upset me, I can literally destroy his property in his car right in front of him. It's okay because I'm a woman. I won't get in trouble. Like, they're not gonna press charges. I'm a woman. Like, it just, we gotta stop. Like, obviously, I'm not trying to say that men are perfect and they don't do horrible, horrific, monstrous shit, but it's just like, women, it's like you're going on another level. We need to tune it down a little bit, okay? Like, you need to pump the brakes. That's all I'm saying. It's just like, when I see this shit, like, person who's like, no, I'm not cheating on you, and then all of a sudden accuses of a crime, makes him a sexual predator, and leaves with the kids to a different state to marry the person you said, no, I'm not having an affair with. That's next level twisted. Look at, what was his name? Mike? I don't know. I think it was Mike. Mike in this one. He straight out came out and was like, hey, sorry I'm having an affair on you. It's just not looking out. I kind of like them. Divorce. Not like, no, honey, I did not have an affair. By the way, I'm taking the kids. You're now a sexual predator. I'm moving to a different state. By the way, this person I didn't have an affair with, we're getting married now. He didn't do that. He was just like, hey, shit happened. Sorry. I cheated. Fucked up. Yeah, but I like them more now. So, moving on. You know? Like, straightforward. Not this crazy, evil, twisted shit. So, you know, all I'm saying, like, lesson we can learn today is, women, you gotta get your shit together. Like, this is some evil fucking shit. Like, this is some evil fucking shit. Like, you gotta stop. People in general gotta stop, but, like, women, you gotta stop taking it to, you see the, like, men take it to a 10 out of 10. I feel like, ladies, you're just like, we can get higher. You just smash the fucking ceiling and just go for a fucking 50. Like, yeah. We gotta cap it, guys. We gotta bring it down some levels here, just in general. So, I don't know. Anyways, now that I'm thoroughly triggered, but super happy that your boy, your legend, called both the twists. called both a twist before they happened, before they were announced, when Oni was giving slight indications that something might be wrong, something might be twisted. Yeah, boy, got him. I'm learning. I'm figuring out 10 in, I believe, or I think we're number 10 in, but I'm learning. Figuring it out. These are starting to follow the pattern. I'm getting it. I'm seeing the pattern of how crazy people think and work. I did not see... I didn't really see that the daughter killed him until it's too late, kind of thing, because that one did catch me by surprise. But I'm starting to catch a lot of these. Anyways, thank you for joining me, and I will see you all next time.